in UN Security Council resolutions, expressing grave concern over the series of illegal measures that the Indian occupation forces have been taking to change the demographic composition of the occupied territories in stark violation of international law, particularly the Fourth Geneva Convention and the relevant resolutions of the UN Security Council, denouncing the latest attempt at demographic engineering in IIOJK through a so-called Delimitation Commission constituted in March 2020 in the occupied territory, aimed at artificially altering the electoral strength of the Muslim majority. Noting that the Commission's recommendations have been rejected by a cross-section of political parties in IIOJK, reaffirming Pakistan's complete support and solidarity with the Kashmiri people, rejects categorically the report that the so-called Delimitation Commission that seeks to convert the Muslim majority of IIOJK into a minority and further marginalize, disenfranchise, disempower the Kashmiri population of IIOJK and advance the political and electoral objectives of the BJP. Expresses grave concern that through the delimitation exercise, India is making an attempt to further its illegal actions of 5th August 2019 and subsequent measures, all of which have been categorically rejected by the people of Kashmir and the people of Pakistan. We recall and reaffirms that Jammu and Kashmir is an internationally recognized dispute and a long-standing item on the agenda of the UN Security Council, declares that no facade elections based on a sham delimitation exercise can substitute the legitimacy and indispensability of a free and impartial plebiscite held under the auspices of the United Nations to enable the Kashmiri people to exercise their right to self-determination in accordance with the relevant UNSC resolution. We demand that India honors and fulfills its obligations under international law, UNSC resolutions, and the Fourth Geneva Convention to refrain from bringing about any illegal demographic changes in the occupied territory, urges the Indian government to forthwith end its oppression and widespread violation of human rights and international humanitarian law in IIOJK and enable the Kashmiri people to exercise their inalienable right to self-determination as enshrined in the relevant UNSC resolutions. Calls upon the international community to ensure accountability of India's grave and persistent violations of human rights and war crimes in IIOJK, and to urge India, the occupying power, to immediately halt and reverse any unilateral and all illegal actions in IIOJK and to fulfill its obligations under the relevant UNSC resolution. Reiterates the unflinching commitment and solidarity of Pakistan and the Pakistani people with our Kashmiri brothers and sisters, and reaffirms that Pakistan will continue to extend all possible support in their just struggle for freedom and self-determination, and requests the government to continue to expose and counter the Indian moves before the international community to highlight and forcefully project the Kashmir cause at all bilateral, multilateral fora, including the United Nations and the OIC. I request for this resolution to be passed by the House.
Mr. Ramesh Kumar. Mr. Ramesh Kumar Wankwani. माइक खोलें. ओके, यही खोल दें.
थैंक यू सर. सबसे पहले तो सर मैं स्ट्रांगली सपोर्ट करता हूं.
1 minute. Mr. Naveed Kamar.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, if the honourable member has not opposed the resolution, then you have to put the resolution. If there are any further comments to come in, then he can speak after the resolution has been put. नहीं वो ठीक है, पास हो जाए फिर इंट्रोड्यूस कर दें. अगर आपने अपोज नहीं किया तो फिर आप नहीं किया.
Now I put the resolution to the House. The question is